Hey everyone! Perfect timing. The sunset looks amazing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Leah Daily English. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey everyone, I'm James here. Great to see you all again. I have my coffee, I'm ready to go, so let's get started.
You and your coffee. Okay, before we jump in, how was your weekend?
It was good. I actually went hiking and I kept thinking about today's topic the whole time. Strange, right?
That's funny, because today's topic is something a lot of learners get confused about. We're talking about nor versus or.
Yes, two tiny words, but they cause big confusion. I still mix them up sometimes, honestly.
Don't worry, you're not alone. By the end of this episode, you'll know exactly when to use or, when to use nor, and why native speakers choose one over the other.
We'll also show you how to avoid the most common mistake learners make with these words, the one that almost everyone makes at least once.
And here's something fun. While you're listening, think about a sentence from your own life where you might use or nor. Write it down, and later you can share it with us in the comments.
We really do read your comments, so don't be shy. Tell us where you're listening from too. We love seeing that.
And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to Simple English Talks. It helps us reach more learners just like you.
All right, let's stop talking about coffee and hiking and get into the real lesson. Let's go.
Okay, let's start simple. Or is a word we use to show a choice or an alternative between two or more things. It connects positive ideas.
Right, so the basic structure is this thing or that thing. Like, do you want tea or coffee? You're offering a choice.
Exactly. Or doesn't care if the sentence is negative or positive. It just connects options. You can call me or text me. Both are fine. You're choosing one.
Let's give some real examples. Would you like rice or noodles? Should we walk or take the bus? Is it Monday or Tuesday today?
One more. You can pay by card or cash. See, all of these are simple choices. Nothing tricky yet.
Here's a personal one. Every morning, I ask myself, should I work out or sleep in? And honestly, sleep usually wins.
Same here. I always think, should I cook dinner or just order food? Lately, food delivery is winning that battle.
Okay, listeners, here's a question for you. What's something you choose between every single day? Maybe it's tea or coffee, or maybe it's something else completely.
Now let's talk about nor. This one is different because it's used for negative choices when both options are not true or not wanted.
Right. Nor usually comes after a negative word, like not or never, and it adds another negative idea to the sentence.
For example, I don't like coffee, nor do I like tea. That means both things are true. You don't like coffee, and you don't like tea either.
And here's something important. After nor, the sentence usually flips around a little. Instead of saying nor I do, we say nor do I. The subject and verb switch places.
That's called inversion, and it sounds strange at first, but once you hear it a few times, it becomes natural.
Listeners, try saying this out loud. She doesn't eat meat, nor does she eat fish. Did you notice how does she comes together, not she does?
Great practice. So remember, or connects choices in any sentence, positive or negative. Nor specifically connects two negative ideas, and it needs that special word order.
True, and nor can do that too in a longer negative list. He doesn't eat meat, fish, nor eggs. Each item adds on to the negative idea.
One more thing before we move on. Or can also connect three or more options, not just two. Would you like tea, coffee, or juice? Same idea, just a longer list.
Let's do a quick summary before we move on. Or is for choices, simple and flexible. Nor is for negative additions, and it needs inversion after it. Got it? Let's keep going.
Good catch. So the rule stays the same no matter how many items you're listing. Or for choices, nor for stacking negatives.
Yes, these are paired conjunctions, and they're super common in everyday English. Let's start with either or.
Now let's build on what we just learned, because there's a very famous pair that goes together with both these words, either or and neither nor.
Here's a real-life situation. Imagine you're at a restaurant, and the waiter says, you can either have soup or salad with your meal. That's a classic use.
Either or is used when you're presenting two positive options, and only one of them is true or possible. Like, you can either call me or email me.
Now, compare that to neither nor. This is the negative version. Neither Sarah nor Tom can pick you up. That means both of them cannot do it.
Another one. Either Sarah or Tom will pick you up from the airport. Only one person is doing it, but we're not sure which one yet.
Do you want to go to the beach or the mountains? Honestly, I want neither the beach nor the mountains. I just want to stay home and relax.
Let's hear a little dialogue to show the difference. Imagine two friends planning a trip.
Now, let's talk about formal versus informal usage. In casual conversation, people often simplify things. Instead of, I don't want this nor that, they might just say, I don't want this or that.
Perfect example. See how neither nor expresses that both choices are rejected, while either or just presents a choice.
For example, formally you'd say, I have no time, nor do I have the energy. But casually, people often say, I don't have time or energy.
That's true. In spoken, everyday English, a lot of native speakers actually avoid nor because it sounds more formal or literary, and they use or with a negative instead.
Let's do a quick practice activity. I'll say a sentence, and you decide if it needs or nor. Ready? She doesn't sing, blank does she dance.
That's a really useful tip for our listeners. In writing, especially formal writing like essays or articles, nor sounds polished. In daily conversation, or is more relaxed and common.
Good. Here's tip number 1. If the sentence already has not or never, and you're adding another negative idea, nor is often the better, more formal choice.
That one needs nor because it's continuing a negative idea with inversion. Nor does she dance.
And tip number 3, always check if inversion is needed. If you use nor, flip the subject and verb. If you use or, keep the normal sentence order.
Tip number 2, if you're just listing simple choices, even in a negative sentence, casual or works fine in conversation. Let's quickly review. Either or presents positive choices. Neither nor rejects both options. And remember, nor is more common in formal or written English. Let's move to our next section. Listeners, try writing one sentence using either or and one sentence using neither nor. Put them in the comments. We'd love to read your examples.
This happens a lot in real conversations. Someone says something negative and you want to agree, so you start your sentence with nor.
Now let's look at another important use, starting a brand new sentence with nor to agree with something negative that was just said.
Let's give some detailed examples with context. I haven't seen that movie, nor have I. Or he doesn't drink coffee, nor does she.
For example, imagine your friend says, I can't eat spicy food, and you respond, nor can I. That simply means you also can't eat spicy food.
For tone and delivery, when you say, nor can I, or nor have I, try to keep your voice light and quick. It's a short, natural agreement, not a big formal statement.
Here's a tip for sounding natural and polite. Starting your response with nor instead of just repeating, I also don't, sounds smoother and more native-like.
I really don't enjoy running.
Nor do I. I much prefer swimming. See how natural that sounds in a real conversation? Let's practice a real-life situation. Imagine you and a friend are talking about exercise.
Nor have I, but it's definitely on my list.
I've never been to Japan. Here's another small but useful point. Nor can also connect more than two negative ideas in a list, especially in writing. Perfect. That's exactly how natural speakers use it. Listeners, try saying this out loud at home, even if no one's listening. It really helps your speaking fluency.
That's a great way to sound expressive and a little dramatic, almost like you're listing all the ways someone let you down.
That's a nice detail. Try practicing both ways with the same sentence. Nor have I. Once light and quick, and once slow and emphasized. Notice how the feeling changes completely.
Nor do I. Mornings are just not my thing.
For example, she didn't call, she didn't text, nor did she send an email. It adds emphasis to a longer negative list. Let's do a structural review. When agreeing with a negative statement, you can start a new sentence with nor, followed by the inverted verb and subject, like nor can I, or nor does she. It's short, polite, and very natural in spoken English. Let's do one more mini practice. I'll give a negative statement, and you respond agreeing using nor.
Same here. Don't worry. Today we're gonna laugh about it together and fix it once and for all.
See how quick and natural that exchange felt? That's the real goal here. Sounding natural, not just memorizing rules.
Mistake number 2, forgetting inversion after nor. This is the big one. People say, nor I can swim, instead of nor can I swim.
Okay, time for everyone's favorite section, common mistakes. And honestly, I've made some of these myself.
Here's the correct version side by side. Wrong. Nor she likes spicy food. Correct. Nor does she like spicy food.
Mistake number 1, using or instead of nor after a negative sentence without realizing the meaning gets a little confused in formal writing.
Mistake number 3, using neither or instead of neither nor. This mix-up happens a lot, especially when people are speaking quickly.
So it's not always wrong to use or, but if you want that formal, careful tone, nor is the better choice.
Remember, neither always needs its partner nor. They go together as a team, just like either always needs or.
That's because in our minds, we want to keep the normal sentence order, subject first, then verb, but nor flips it. The verb or auxiliary comes before the subject.
Imagine saying to a barista, I want neither sugar nor milk in my coffee. It's grammatically correct, but it sounds a little dramatic for a coffee shop.
Let's explain why this happens. Nor acts like a question word in terms of grammar structure. It pulls the auxiliary verb forward, just like in a question.
Here's a funny one from my own life. I once wrote in an email to my boss, I cannot attend, nor will I be available. And my friend told me it sounded like I was writing a legal document.
For example, someone might say, neither John or Mary called me, but the correct pairing is neither John nor Mary called me.
Mistake number 5, and this one's small but sneaky, repeating the negative word after nor. Some learners say, I don't smoke, nor I don't drink, but the second negative isn't needed.
Mistake number 4, using nor in casual conversation when it sounds too stiff or formal for the situation, like ordering coffee.
Don't worry if you've made these mistakes before. Every single learner does. Even advanced speakers slip up sometimes.
In that situation, it's more natural to just say, no sugar or milk, please. Simple and relaxed.
All right, let's wrap up this section with some encouragement. Mistakes are simply proof that you're learning and trying, and that's something to be proud of.
That's a great example. Sometimes nor can sound too serious for everyday messages, so it's good to know when to keep things simple.
Let's start easy. Option A, I don't like tea or coffee. Option B, I don't like tea nor coffee.
Right. Nor already carries the negative meaning by itself. The correct sentence is simply, I don't smoke nor do I drink. One negative idea is enough.
Next one. Option A. Neither Tom nor his sister speaks French. Option B. Neither Tom or his sister speaks French.
The most important thing is practice. The more you use or and nor in real sentences, the more natural they'll become.
Let's try a trickier one. Option A, she can't drive nor can she ride a bike. Option B, she can't drive nor she can ride a bike.
Now it's time for our favorite part. Choose the correct sentence. I'll give you 2 options and you decide which one is correct. One more. Situation number 4. Option A, would you like pizza or pasta tonight? Option B, would you like pizza nor pasta tonight? The answer is A. I don't like tea or coffee. In casual speech, or works perfectly fine after don't. Let's try situation 5, a bit more advanced. Option A, he has no money, nor does he have a job. Option B, he has no money, or he has no job. Easy. It's A, because neither always pairs with nor. Remember our golden rule from earlier?
That's a great point. So always think about the meaning you want, not just the grammar rule.
The correct one is A, because after nor, we need inversion. Can she, not she can.
Try adjusting the tone, too. Say, nor can I, in a casual, friendly tone, and then try it in a more formal, serious tone. Notice how the words stay the same, but the feeling changes.
That's A again, because this is a positive choice question, so we use or, never nor, in a simple question like this.
Don't worry about making it perfect. The goal is real conversation and real practice, not flawless grammar. Even native speakers don't always speak perfectly.
This one is interesting. Both could technically work, but they mean different things. Option A confirms both things are true. Option B suggests it's one or the other. We're not sure which. Definitely. Let's quickly remind everyone of the 3 main things we learned today. First, or connects choices in both positive and negative sentences. Listeners, say these sentences out loud right now, especially the ones with nor. Practicing with your mouth, not just your eyes, really helps it stick in your memory.
And third, either or and neither nor are paired conjunctions that always go together, never mixed with each other.
Now here's your challenge. Create one sentence using either or and one using neither nor, based on your own real life. Maybe about food, weekends, or hobbies.
Here's a reflective question for you. Can you think of a situation today, maybe later, where you could naturally use nor in a sentence?
Wow, what an episode! We covered so much today about or and nor, and I feel like my own English got a little sharper just talking about it.
If this episode helped you, please give it a like, share it with a friend who's also learning English, and subscribe to Simple English Talks so you never miss a lesson.
Second, nor connects 2 negative ideas, and it needs inversion, like nor do I, or nor can she.
You're closer to fluent English than you think. Take care, keep learning, and see you next time.